people. Hello people. This is Callisto and I've got a box. Now boxes are really good if you have cats because they like to sit in them and play with them. But this one, and I will give it to my cats as soon as I'm done, contains something for me. And there is a cat already trying to pounce. This is a box that contains a game. Yes, I've been shopping. Again, I have to blame Stuka Joe entirely, and that's the cat, for actually, and yeah, he's unboxing the game, for making me buy this. And I have the guys in France at Hexasim to thank for delivering this beautiful game to me. Now, this is a first. First of all, it's an era that I've never played, Napoleonic. And secondly, it is a card-driven game for 2 players, and you may already know what it is. But I'm just going to open this wrapping and you can see the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful artwork that is the design of Napoleon against Europe, English version, produced by Hexasim. So I'm going to move this box because the cat is now, as you can see, the black cat has now moved in, so Aries is now taking his seat. And this is the box. This is Napoleon, and it is a grand strategic game, so basically at army level. I've seen the whole playthrough by Stuka Joe, and I was so frustrated that he stopped. I just wanted it to go on forever because, first of all, his videos are just fabulous, but also the game is really gripping. Now, I know that this is a 2-player game and it's card-driven, and there is no AI provided. So it is, unlike, for example, Empire of the Sun, which I'm waiting to be delivered any day now at this stage, where you have the Erasmus bot that actually plays the other side. This isn't included. So I'm aware that, of course, in a card-driven game, there would be a fog of war element where you don't know what the other person has. So, for example, in the game that Stuka Joe was filming, he had 2 cards. One was, I think, to force the enemy into, the opponent into a war with a 3rd power in which Russia has to take part. Which means that if you play this, Russia has to act and Russia has to, you know, go there and cannot follow any other orders because they have to resolve this. Now, playing this card would have been quite good for Stuka Joe at one point, or it would have been an option, but he also knew that the other player held a card which basically negated this effect. Now, if you don't know what cards your opponent has, you might play this and think, hey, this is cool. So you might end up thinking, hey, this is totally cool, and I play this card, and then of course the opponent just basically negates it. And I know that I will not have this option because I would be seeing all cards. I was even thinking before I've even read the rules, you know, you might just have 2 cards open, but you know, there are problems with that as well. So what I will do is I will just play it for the immersive nature of the game with all cards open, and then just try to play each side. And for the cards where I know I have card A, but the other one can negate it with card B, if I feel that I want to play this card, and yes, they feel that they want to negate it, then so be it. You know, it would be like a real game, only I know what's going to happen. But it means that at least each side is down 1 card, which has other effects, because you can also use cards to activate as activation points. You know, I haven't read the rules yet, but that's what I gathered also from how Stuka Joe played it. I've printed off the rules. I've got my own copy that I can annotate, but now I would like to show you what's in the box. And again, this is a lovely box. The game comes with 2 sets of cards. We have the Coalition and the Empire. So the Empire in this case is France, and the Coalition is everybody else. So Britain, Russia, Prussia, and Austria. And there are also minor allies that both sides can win at some point. We have a really lovely rule book. A lot of stuff has been talked about with regard to the rule books, or the rule book, I should say. The English isn't great. You can tell that it wasn't written by a native speaker, and some say it was probably also not written by somebody who was playtesting, but somebody who knows the game inside out, and so they neglected to be quite explicit in some cases. I have no idea if this is true. I haven't read them, but you know, I'm not stupid. I have read plenty of rule books which may or may not have been so good. I have seen examples of play, and I think I will muddle through. You also have beautiful tables, a map legend, diplomatic table, complete campaign, the setup, campaign 1809 to 1814 setup, the Empire, important cards, we'll see what this is about, the coalition, important cards. I will make copies of all of these so that I don't have to handle them, because I don't like handling the original components. Card assignment table, actually I've got this one already. And the resource table as well. Yeah, I printed off some stuff from Board Game Geek, beautiful stuff, also by Stuka Joe. Incidentally, you have 2 counter sheets that actually come in a plastic envelope, because apparently they are punch set, they will fall out very easily, and they are they have round edges, so you know, I like them. I like having round edges on my counters, but I'm too stupid to actually clip them myself. I tried it once and it was a disaster, so I'm never going to try that again. It comes with 2, yeah, Ivy. These are 2 dice, and they're not yours. And the map. Now, the map is a thing of beauty. I'm not going to unfold it because I don't have enough room, but the map is beautiful. And when you look closely, it looks like it's kind of dirty, but that's not because the map itself is dirty. That's the effect that they were going for, so it looks like a historic map. Something that I read on one of the threads on Board Game Geek was written by somebody from Spain, and he was really annoyed because he said there are 2, essentially there are 2 types of terrain. You have the green terrain, and you have, no, these are not your dice. You have the green terrain, and you have the, well, bone-colored terrain. And bone-colored terrain means that you have to roll for attrition under certain circumstances, because it's, you know, inferior territory or whatever. And France, and, you know, France, Italy, Prussia, are green territories, where I think most of all of Spain is skull colored, and I think large parts of Russia as well, and the Ottoman Empire. And he's like, there is no way that Spain is so horrible, whereas France is so lush and green. You know, there are lovely places in Spain. And he gave examples of where the landscape is pretty much like the landscape in France. And there are areas in Spain that are, you know, one area is called Finisterre, and that is exactly like Ireland, and Ireland is anything but barren. So I think this actually probably doesn't refer to its barrenness, but maybe to issues with regard to supply, I don't know, or maybe resources that can be found easily. I don't know, but when I was watching the video, I realized how little I know about that historic period. There were places which were kingdoms, especially in Italy, that I hadn't even heard of. Really, seriously, I was looking at this and I was going, And even the way Germany was divided up, I knew that it wasn't one country, but, you know, and how the Napoleonic Wars actually impacted on Germany, and that Bavaria was founded during this period. And I mean, it's actually an event in this game. Just made me want to play this. I just want to experience this. It'll probably be more like a history lesson for me, an entertaining one, and not so much a game, like I said, because I do not have anybody to play this with. But if any of you are not too far away time zone wise and would like to play on Vassal, and I mean in real time, because this play by email for me doesn't work, but if you are interested, even just to explore it. I'm not a competitive player, I have to say that up front. I'm not going to go all out to try and kill you unless I play Kevin and we play Panzergruppe Guderian and I set my panzers loose. I'm usually not a very competitive player, but if you're interested in just exploring this game, exploring the the mechanics of it, but also the history of it, yeah, just send me a message and maybe we can work something out. I'm reading the rules tonight and I'm going to set it up this weekend and we will see how this works. And of course I will scan the counters first because I always want to have counter scans before I do anything with the counters. So that is Napoleon Against Europe by Hexasim, the English version of the game. So basically the map is in French, but of course the cards are in English. So Admiralty, permanent card for Britain, or the Genius of Napoleon. And again, this looks like the card has been bent, but that's not true. It's just to make it look old. I also ordered a lot of card sleeves that should be arriving with another game that I'm really looking forward to, that I've been trying to get for a very, very, very long time. But even when I found a copy here or there, seeing as it's really heavy, and I'm talking about sheer weight, costs were prohibitive. So as soon as I've got this, I'll do another unboxing. You know, I'm going to make you guess a little, but it's also Napoleon. So thanks very much for listening and have a great evening and talk to you soon.